title for this moment is "It is Finished." And I want to wonder, what has finished? Has your salary finished? Has your food finished? Has your marriage finished? But one thing is certain, that whatever is finished in your life, today will be a time of restoration. He uttered a loud cry to his Father in heaven for the whole world to know, and for every evil force to flee. For Christ's work on the cross of Calvary was complete. The cup he was carrying, the cup of iniquity, is a representative force of accomplishment. What is that accomplishment? That every indebtedness, every sin, every iniquity, every idolatry, every bloodshed, every killing, every kidnapping, he settled it so that newness can be ushered in again. And that is the reason for that declaration. God gave him an assignment which he obediently carried. He obediently carried out that assignment. Despite the difficulties and the challenges, he obediently carried out that assignment. It's not just that he carried the assignment, it was fully accomplished. The accomplishment did not come without hurdles. There were quite a lot of hurdles. Our sins were fully purchased. What did he purchase it with? He purchased our sin with his blood. And the blood that Jesus shed on the cross of Calvary represented 3 generations. The Old Testament generation. We remember in those days, the blood of bulls. Each time people commit a sin, they go to the priest, and the blood of bull and sheep were made to atone for the sins and for the trespasses. But the singular blood of Jesus Christ was able to take care of that. The blood that was shed during the Old Testament time was a blood that was just hanging in the balance. It needed a time of it needed the physical coming of Christ for it to fully manifest. He also paid the price for the people of his generation, his own generation. Even though he was not, it was a very difficult thing for them to have accepted his thesis. But he did not make it to be untrue. Yet his blood represented that generation. It also represented the future generation to which we are all direct beneficiaries. We are not just beneficiaries, we are all partakers. Full partakers. The last word of Jesus Christ, what does it represent? That is the word of a dying man. A man that was about to leave the physical earth. His last word. Last words have power. And oftentimes it comes with very deep meaning. Last words are fully very significant. I want to ask, have you ever been at the bedside of a dying father or a dying mother or a dying relation, or a beloved friend, oftentimes we consider it a very rare privilege. I'm very sure that we have heard stories that when people want to die, oftentimes, especially very elderly people, they send for their children. My father-in-law, when he was about to go, he was dressed. He wasn't ill. He was finely dressed because he knew that the time for his departure was very near. The eldest child was around. I remember he told my wife specifically, be a binding force amongst your siblings. It's not possible that my wife would take those words for granted. Those final words are very, very significant, because these are words that are said in last moments of man's physical existence. If the word from a mortal could be taken with a depth of significance, what about the dying word of a member of the divinity? It becomes very imperative that we should hold on deeply to the final words of Christ. We must therefore treasure those words. We must therefore be recipients of those words. Those words must remain indelible in our spirit. There is no doubt that Jesus knew what his last word represents in this world. He knew the impact that his final word will represent, even for generations, even unborn. I had great purpose in them, in those words. We still breathe such life and meaning for our lives today as Christians. I have a lot of questions to ask. The first question I want to ask: what is the significance of the word "it is finished"? Number one, Jesus became the final and ultimate sacrifice for our sin. The uniqueness about the way it was written is that the tense of the word indicates both a point in time that it was complete and that it will also continue to be complete or finished, otherwise making very strong provision for the future. This is the essence and the significance of what Christ came to do. He came to pay in full the entire penalty or the entire debt for our sin. He is still at work in our world today in many powerful ways.